Like and subscribe, my subscribers. I love you for your comments. You keep me going and you keep me motivated, regardless as to the fact that I don't have thousands and thousands of subscribers. One must understand quality has never been measured in quantity. With that, let's begin. Hebrew Israelites, African Americans, or whatever you want to call yourselves, not only are we God's chosen people, we are actually perfection in motion from our hair, skin, and down to our feet, which allows us to jump the highest and run the fastest. Don't be deceived. We are God's perfection in human anatomy, mind, and spirit. No other ethnicity has been more copied than us. How many times have you heard other ethnicities say, I am the white Michael Jordan, or LeBron, the Mexican Mike Tyson, the musical Michael Jackson? Who did Time magazine put on its covers this month? Who caused the NCAA to change the rules of the transport portal to help Caucasian coaches? It was a melanated man who has yet to understand he is one of God's chosen people. He calls himself a Christian, as do many of our people who still live in that deception, but it does not destroy who we are and our greatness. We, as a people from Africa, spread all over the world, must understand we are God's chosen people and stop believing this false narrative created by Caucasians who are actually the missing link. I will leave you the link below in which they admit it. Now, look at what they're doing to the world. Now, you tell me, is this what one should call civilized? The reality is they didn't defeat the world through combat to be in the position they're in. They got in this position the same way they took over the Americas, with diseases, backstabbing the people. They got to trust them. In essence, they did it the way Satan would do it, lying and using the teachings of Yahshua to gain trust before betraying the people who in America, Native Americans, saved their lives on a day they celebrate as Thanksgiving. This proved their deceit. Thanksgiving represents the biggest betrayal in human history. You know, if you simply think about it, the truth is in plain sight. Let me repeat that. The truth is in plain sight. The pilgrims, whatever you want to call them, settlers, when they came to America, they did not know how to live in America. They didn't know that the snow was coming. They ran out of food. They didn't know how to live in this new country. And when winter hit, they were stuck. And the Native Americans saved their lives. They did not save the Native Americans. Understand the words. It is they who say Thanksgiving and celebrate it. It is not the Native Americans, because they have nothing to be thankful for on Thanksgiving Day, considering how they were betrayed. Understand this, my people. Math is the logic and philosophy of numbers. Math is the logic and philosophy of numbers. Logic and philosophy are the mathematics of words. Logic and philosophy are the mathematics of words. In essence, we must look and hear further than what they have added to the truth and subtract their lies from reality and use our ability to logically reason, which exceeds their ability to reason, for we are God's chosen people. And think for ourselves, which is to mentally use logic to add up words to come to truth, to come to the truth of the matter. And it is they that have been lying for centuries to make it seem that they have moral and human values while creating worldwide chaos with their lies of grandeur and human indecency. Since when is human decency, lies, deceit, enslavement, and colonization representative of human decency? Or should I say, the advancement of humanity? In fact, look at this once beautiful world Yahweh, who is God, has given us dominion over. Was it for the purpose of the purpose of the worldwide chaos they've created? Was it for never-ending wars? Was it created for air pollution? Was it created for water pollution? Was it created to enslave and colonize people for the profit of the few? Logic is the mathematics of words, and it's time we start subtracting the nonsense and lies and chaos they've been preaching as order and intelligence and see them for who they are: parasites, feeding off of all that is good and leaving trails of poison earth and human misery. Stop me when I am lying. It is time we realize, idealize, and actualize truth, which is the real teachings of the Hebrew Israelites. Let me explain something. Realize is to see and hear what is before you. Idealize is to put it into a logical context to understand whether it is order or chaos, or should I say, whether it creates order or chaos. And then actualize truth. And when you actualize it, it is a verb which means to change it. We, as God's chosen people, must change the chaos back into order. We are not in competition with nature. As God's chosen people, we are to improve nature. We do not improve nature by taking the seeds out of fruits and by genetically destroying the nature of things, because what God created is perfect. Can we improve upon it? Not really. But what we can do is magnify it, increase its greatness and intensity to feed more people, because we are here to multiply. We are here to multiply and to take our essence throughout the universe. We are not supposed to, as plutocrats suggest, go on rides into outer space. We are not to waste resources to make money selling rides to outer space, which makes no sense whatsoever. And you know that Elon Musk suggested this silly crazy nonsense from what I've been reading. So let me go back to say, it is time we realize, idealize, and actualize truth, which is the real teaching of Hebrew Israelite. This is what's called spiritual philosophy. Where have you heard that before? Metaphorically, it is the religion of God's chosen people. It is the study of the one eternal being. It is the study of the one eternal being, which means never created, always. And it is the study of nature and our relationship to all things immortal and mortal. Good and evil are subjective concepts of Caucasian Neanderthals attempting to satisfy their flawed ego with the teachings of God's chosen people instead of accepting what we tried to teach them before they betrayed us in Kemet, now known as Egypt, and tried to usurp our teachings as their own. Borrowing a phrase from Kevin Samuels, my people, you can't make this up. They mixed what we tried to teach them with their madness to dominate the earth and created religions as if truth can be subdivided and whatever you believe is your truth. Subjectivity can never be truth. Truth must be objective to create order. In essence, humanity must be on the same page. Truth must be objective to create order. In essence, humanity must be on the same page, not living in the subjectivity and chaos created by multiple religions, causing humanity to be pulled in opposite directions and destroying the body of humanity with their greed, lust, and total nonsensical lies. How could Columbus discover America when there were people inhabiting America and doing good, living in peace and respecting nature? Yes, there were small skirmishes, but life was always respected. The human audacity of Israelis to call themselves God-chosen people is ridiculous. The human audacity of Caucasian Neanderthal to call themselves God-chosen people when they resemble primates more so than melanated people. Rub the fur on any primate and their skin is what Caucasians call white. Let me repeat that. Rub the fur back on any primate and their skin is what Caucasians call white. See, we have to use our intelligence. Don't just fall prey to what we hear and what we see. Rub that skin back. Rub the skin back on a primate. Rub the fur back on any primate and their skin is what Caucasians call white. Their skin is not melanated. They have a low center of gravity, short legs, they have small lips, all of which are indicative of the so-called master race of destruction. Look, when have you seen a primate with big lips as in their caricatures of melanated people? The insanity of this is now they are pumping their lips up and imitating melanated people. The sad reality and fact of the matter is they resemble primates more than melanated people, especially when they put black shoe polish on their faces. Look, think about this. Would you put white shoe polish on your face? Does this show any type of common sense? Is this logical? Does it, think about how ridiculous this, what intelligent human being would put shoe polish on their face for any reason? This is the chaotic behavior of people who would choose to live in chaos, and this proves my point. Every time they put shoe polish on their faces, they resemble primates more so than we do. They're mocking themselves and don't know it by pretending to be the chosen people of the lower gods of Yahweh, the all and eternal living mind in which we live and breathe. A chimpanzee, you rub his skin back, his skin is the color of Caucasians. His face is black. When they put black shoe polish on their face with their small lips, they look like primates. Ignorant people do not know they're ignorant. Understand me. Ignorant people do not know that they are ignorant. If they did, they would not do ignorant things. I'm going to close with this phrase because this phrase is all important. Math is the logic and philosophy of numbers. Logic and philosophy are the mathematics of words. We must reason to understand numbers. We must reason to understand words. We must use logical and philosophical reasoning. We must realize the truth. Idealize the truth to further understand it. And then we must actualize the truth to bring order back to chaos. Don't look at the world as good and evil. Look at the world as order and chaos. And then you have the necessary objectivity to come to a logical conclusion. With that, like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later, my people. Once again, I love you. Have a beautiful day. I could say God bless us, but guess what? God has blessed us already. And we are too great a people to be depressed. Have a wonderful day.